Feliz Navidad.
Did you get the right places, guys?
We switched them around for you.
Oh, nice and cold. It's in glass, too.
Yeah.
Start beatboxing.
I'll do the same thing at the baseball game.
And after every question, you just drop it on the table. Look at that, we're on TV.
I'm gingerbread.
So do we need to use this microphone when we answer?
Do we need that? Czy potrzebujemy mikrofonu?
Don't think so.
Okay,
Good.
sounds great.
A little bit intimate meeting?
That is fine with us.
Yeah?
Yes.
Dzień dobry Państwu, witam na konferencji prasowej z CHRIS Duarте Group.
Yes, yes.
Feel free to ask any questions. I'll be a translator.
Translator,
if
yes.
there will be any need.
Okay.
Okay. Shall we start? Are there any questions?
First time in Poland?
No, I've been here in Poland. This is probably my 5th time in Poland. I played Poznan. First time I came in, played a harmonica festival a while back. And then we were just here not too long ago. I was here about 4 years ago. I can't even remember the town. I know there's a big basilica near that John Paul visited that they erected just for that occasion.
Dolina Charlotte?
It's in the south, I think.
Great Basilica.
It's a big.
Lichen or
I know they just built it just for his visit because it was pretty new, and there was an old cemetery near there too, an old I guess a Polish priest that stuck up for the Jewish people, and the Nazis killed them. That's what the story goes. And so this is probably my 4th or 5th time, and this is these guys' 2nd time because we were just here in June.
Okay.
It's a very wonderful country. I like Poland very much. And I'm not just saying that because I'm here.
Okay.
but here you've got enough time to just walk around or see around.
I went walking around. I went walking here, the river Hannes here. I went walking along that and went and then the little pond that's over there. And just looking at the architecture of the houses and then some of the old houses, I noticed there was one house stamped 1934. And of course, I was imagining visions of World War II and stuff, the Germans marching through and then the Russians marching through and all that. But it's just, there's so much history here because I know Poland was like the crossroads for a lot of armies, throughout history. And so I'm very interested. And then I didn't know we were this close to Lithuania and Belarus. So that's very interesting too. So I'm thrilled to be here.
But will you have time to visit some
Unfortunately not. We call this a mercenary gig. Fly in, play it, fly
and
back.
fly back?
Yeah.
So where will you play the next gig?
Well, we're going to play in Texas, in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
That's our next gig. But I have to go back and record the rest of our new album. We're doing a new album.
I heard that you just released the album in 2013,
Mm-hmm.
the last one.
That was a live album, I believe, is the last one.
Could you tell us something more about this album?
Sure.
Is it the blues? What genre?
It's unmistakably CHRIS Duarте, lots of guitar and stuff. But yeah, it's got blues in it. It's got a little bit of jazz inflections in it and stuff. And it doesn't have these guys on it because it was a live album recorded in Tokyo, Japan. So I've got a Japanese bass player, then I have a former drummer, Jack
I heard
Jones.
rumors, if I may, that Japan is close to your heart now.
Yes, it is close to my heart.
Could you tell us something more about it, if you can?
Yes,
or
I mean...
is it a secret?
No, it is
I
not
don't
a secret.
know.
Nothing in my life is a secret.
Okay.
It's out there. Yeah, my former wife, she's Japanese, and we're still in contact. But yeah, I mean, I go there just about every year to Japan, and for me to be closer to her, I kind of learned to speak a little bit of Japanese and read it and write it a little. It's not great, but I'm working on it. But Japan, I love the culture. I love the food. I love going there. And John just went for his first time back in October and November.
And?
I loved it.
I loved it. I'm huge in Japan.
Okay. Oh yes. Yeah.
So yeah, the showers are a little small. I said to Dustin when we got back, I was like, man, it's nice to be in the States where you have like big towels. He's like, they're not big, they're just average. He said all the towels are small, all the showers are small. Beautiful country though, I really enjoyed it. Food was awesome. He was amazed that I tried so much stuff because I'm not very picky when it comes to eating or trying new foods, and he was surprised that I tried as much stuff as I did. I loved it, and I love the country, and the people were very nice, like here. Everybody's beautiful and very nice and friendly, and we're having a blast.
Okay. And now you just said that you are recording a new album.
Yes, hopefully it'll be out
How
in
different
October.
will be from the last one?
It'll be a little different. I mean, the producer's slowly letting the reins loose from having so much artistic control over it, because he wants me to play a lot of blues rock. But it's still going to have a lot of blues, and it's going to have some sort of experimental stuff on there. But it's still going to be, like I say, unmistakably Chris Duarte. It's going to be me, obviously.
Okay.
It's not like I'm going to start doing a polka album or a Japanese folk song album. It's still going to be Chris Duarte Group.
Okay. You are saying that you are influenced by jazz music a lot.
Yes.
Can we hear? Will we be able to hear that?
Oh yeah, tonight you'll hear definitely
And
some.
tonight,
Yes,
yes.
tonight. I mean, we're not going to play any standards, like Autumn Leaves or something, but definitely you'll hear it in our soloing and the way we communicate. Because the way we communicate is pretty much we're talking to each other, which is pretty much how sort of a jazz group kind of talks. We know a form, but we're talking our way through it. We're conversing the whole way through it.
Okay.
Czy przed przyjazdem do Suwałk słyszeliście już o Blues Festiwalu Suwalskim?
A question about Suwałki Blues Festival. Before coming here to Poland, have you heard of Suwałki Blues Festival, perhaps?
Not before we got hired to do this, but it's obviously a very popular and big festival, so we're really honored to be here for this.
Panowie nie słyszeli wcześniej, ale...
I drugie pytanie, przed wyjazdem do Polski, do Suwałk, czy szukali palcem po mapie, gdzie są Suwałki?
Before coming to this festival, to Suwałki, did you actually check where are you heading, where Suwałki is?
Actually, no, I didn't, because I knew it was going to be a long way because we had a long drive, but I checked as soon as I got here, because our phones don't work very good here.
Okay, and you took the flight to Warsaw, right?
Yeah, Warsaw,
And from Warsaw to Suwałki.
to Suwalki.
And you're coming back tomorrow.
Yes, we're
To
coming
Warsaw
back.
again,
Yes,
and
to
then
Warsaw.
back.
A long drive, so yes, we'll be leaving very early in the morning.
The first flight from Warsaw to Suwalki.
Yes, that's right. Need an airport.
Will you play some other gigs on this road? Or
We wish. We so tried to get some other gigs here because we might as well play some more gigs because we're here already. So it seems normal that you would get a couple more. We wish we could, but no, we're not. We're flying right back. Hopefully next time.
Okay, so next time we will arrange one more in Warsaw.
Arrange a whole bunch of them. We'd love to stay here.
Chris, this is played for you.
Okay.
You remember Progressia Club in Warsaw?
Yes, I think so. We played. Oh yeah, we played there. Yeah, I remember that.
Coco Montoya.
Yeah, Coco and Robin Ford and stuff.
I
Yeah.
played this
Można
photograph.
bokiem, elementem zamnotować.
All these records, all these photographs belongs to you.
Okay.
You can use it free of charge on your website for promotion.
Okay, you got it. Well, we will give you
It's
photo
also
credit.
Our photo with my guitar. with
Okay.
Gibson.
Oh,
Today
okay.
I bring another one.
Okay.
It will be kind request to sign it, and after the gig, make another one photo with guitars. I will make also today because I'm in charge. Media
Of the
photo.
medium photo. Okay.
He's got the accreditation.
Well, thank you so much,
I'm here for
Andrew.
the 6th time in Suwalki.
Okay.
This is the best festival, blues festival in Poland, and I hope today will be a great gig, and you will be satisfied because people are fantastic here. Kind request is because we have only permission to make only first 3 tracks. If you're not be angry because you are going during the gig
Right.
immer warmer and
Right,
warmer
exactly.
and warmer.
I
And
warm
the
up
best
as
photographs we
Right.
make usually on the end.
Okay.
If you agree to give permission
You-
for all gig,
You can take photographs all during the gig.
especially for me, it will be possible to be on the to come on the stage from the backstage.
Okay.
So I
Yes.
will make for you the best photos.
Please allow Andrew to have all access and to allow to take pictures for the whole gig, please.
All right.
There you go. Dziękuję, dziękuję, dziękuję.
Next time we arrange another festival.
Okay, yeah, arrange a whole bunch. We would love to do a tour of Poland.
Few records of our Polish father of the blues because we arrange every year, and then this time I asked Michael Polański to arrange this way. You will have more gigs in Poland
Okay,
because this way we save money and you will be more satisfied.
okay, yeah,
You will spend
let's do it.
Not so much in flights. You spend more in Poland, and you can see more. Now.
We would love to see it. We would love to. And we also want to send out a word to a big thank you for Jam that brought us here last time in June. So we're very honored to play with them, arguably one of the better, the most famous rock band to come out of Poland, Jam. So, and happy, yes, and happy 35 years together.
Styczynski, the guitarist,
Yes, yeah, yeah.
one from my guitar.
Ah, there we go.
Sign it. He asked first me, Andrew, this is for sale. I will take it. I bought in Shanghai when I spent 1 year for contract. I bought 5 guitars this time, and the best my guitar is the Gibson Supreme.
Yeah.
And when he saw this guitar, he told me I have take it, and I told him, sorry, at the moment she belongs to me. When I will be died, you have the right to be the first to buy it.
Dziękuję,
Because
dziękuję.
with your autograph also.
Thank you, thank you.
Many guys.
Well, after me, it goes to my daughter because she gets all my guitars. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. We'll take very good care of it. And I'll play it too.
And one question more.
Yes.
Because here is good technical stuff, you think about it to record live
Mm-hmm.
performance here
Yeah.
in Suwałki and keep it for the future. Perhaps the best tracks you can use it for a live record for the fans.
I would love to do something like that. I think that sounds totally logical. Sounds great. It's a great idea.
But you have to talk with these guys because I know because they television, local television and local staff is making very good quality of,
Okay.
of audio and video. So this is enough to make good quality record or DVD. And we had one record. This is the best tracks from 2008
Okay.
to 2012. Last
I think Andrew will perhaps discuss about it after
Proces za daleko w
the
sprawy
press
kontraktu,
conference.
które obowiązują,
They've got the
są ustalone
contract.
nie kończą
Okay.
całym zespołem. Jeżeli management
We can only do what the promoter says. We're under contract with them. But yes, definitely, we can talk about it later.
Chris, I've got a question.
Yes.
We received when we were doing the promotion for the Blues Festival, we received a lot of good calls, and the people were so looking forward to see you guys on stage. They told us that you are tremendously good, and yeah, we have tourists from all over Poland. Actually, during this festival, only 20% of people are from here. Most of them are from Poland, from Lithuania, actually, from Germany. They come here every year, but especially for you, they were calling and they were asking a lot of questions. They were saying that you are guys wonderful, very friendly, so I wanted to tell you that they are so looking for it. I mean, you have huge
Fan base.
fan base in here and in Lithuania. So I would like to congratulate you
Oh.
on that. And I've got a question. Can you tell us when did it all began? I mean, your journey with music.
Oh, that's
I heard that from the riddle on the roof. When you heard it, you were in love with that movie.
Fiddler on the Roof.
Yes.
Yes, actually, that is a true story. When Fiddler on the Roof made its network debut in America, it was probably 1971, 72. And just the very scene where that fiddler's on the roof and he's blackened out and he just goes, da, ya, da, ba, ba, ba.
Yes.
I thought that was so cool. So immediately when elementary school started in the 3rd grade, I wanted to play violin. And at the school they said, no, we have too many violin players. You're going to play the clarinet.
Okay.
So I went home and I told my mom, I said, Mom, they said they have too many violin players. How about a clarinet? My mom goes, no, you're not playing a clarinet. So the seed had been planted, as they said. That got me interested. And soon after, I was in a workshop. We used to have to take the bus a long way across when I moved back to San Antonio. And we had to stop off. Our parents would pick us up after school. And we stayed at this workshop, and I learned how to play steel drums. And I was a tenor player, which is the people out front playing, the little ones taking the melody. So I learned how to do that. And then by the time I was just about almost 15, my brother had gotten a guitar. And I was constantly picking up his guitar. So finally my mom gave in and bought me a guitar. So that's when I started on a Takamine acoustic guitar, like 1978, 9, I think 78, 9. And then I moved to Austin, Texas in 1979, and with the idea of being a musician. And I wanted to be the best in the world. And I still want world domination, but I always have to keep that ambition, to get better. So that's really where it all started. When I got to Austin, I started playing in bands. And by the age of 17, I was playing in clubs. And then by the age of 18, I was going on the road with some bands, blues bands. And the rest is history. And here I find myself in beautiful Poland, in Suwałki. Suwalki, I'm so sorry, Suwalki.
Yes, it's difficult to pronounce.
I just have to remember the
Yeah.
W's or V's.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
that's true. Are there any artists you were influenced by?
We'll take that with Dustin. We'll all go down the row.
First off was like John Lee Hooker, B.B. King. I grew up in Chicago, Illinois, so I was traditional blues, very traditional. Like Junior Wells, Coco Taylor, and then it was same as Chris. It slowly became from blues to jazz, which was Coltrane, Miles Davis, Charlie Parker.
Yeah, I mean, the Sonny Rollins, Thelonious Monk, Mahavishnu Orchestra, John McLaughlin, one of my favorite guitar players. And John, who was your influence?
Being a drummer, I come from, I was into the progressive rock thing. So I was into Rush and Kansas and Yes and Emerson, Lake and Palmer and
Cream?
Cream, a little bit of Cream. More of the harder,
Okay.
time signature. And then, of course, playing through junior and senior high school, I was in stage bands. So I was into Tower of Power and all the horn bands, Chicago, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, all that stuff. So I kind of drew from all that, and then somehow, I don't even remember how I got into the blues. It was like, it just happened when I was in
Natural.
Pennsylvania, yeah. Originally from Pennsylvania, and I got into the blues there, and then moved to Atlanta in 98, met you in 05, I think it was.
Right.
So we've been threatening to work with each other since, and it finally happened in November of last year.
Yeah. Me, I have to say that Tony Iommi, of course, the Beatles, when I was growing up, Beatles and the Rolling Stones. And then when I started playing guitar, of course, Black Sabbath. Oh, I was such a huge I still am. Of course, Ozzy Osbourne, and then after, Ronnie James Dio was cool, but, all the way up to Never Say Die, that's about where I kind of draw the line. I actually saw him on that tour, the Never Say Die tour. And then, yeah, Tony Iommi was like one of my first guitar idols. Then after that, I was into Yes. I went through a huge Yes phase. And so Steve Howe was like one of my favorite guitar players for a long time. And then I started moving into jazz, and then John McLaughlin kind of took over. But I mean, I mainly listen to horn players a lot. Coltrane, Coltrane is like my number one guy, you know. And then Beethoven, I love Beethoven. But of course, we are in the land of Chopin, and I mean, some of the most amazing piano music ever is written by Chopin. You can always, I can always tell when it's Chopin because it's got so much romanticism in it, and the runs. It's just Chopin is not easy music to play.
Maybe you should explain to him how you know so much about classical.
Oh gosh, it was just because the bass player that I used to play with, that I started CHRIS Duarте Group, he was constantly listening to classical music, so I started listening to it a lot. And I'd learned how to play a couple of pieces in classical music, but classical music, it's not like blues or rock and roll, where blues and rock and roll sounds okay when it's played kind of rough and it's kind of sloppy. It sounds okay. Classical music, you can't play that stuff sloppy. One note makes the whole structure fall apart if you play it bad. So for me to stay on top of that, it's very hard for me to stay with that. But that doesn't mean my appreciation died any, because I love classical music, so I'm constantly listening to that. And so then, of course, you get to know the difference between the different players and how they interpret the pieces, right down to the conductors, how they interpret pieces and stuff. You can tell by who listening to the music, you can tell who the conductor is because of how they emphasize sometimes the bottom parts or the time, how they move the time. So it's just, but I have a long, long way to go in that field, because I remember seeing a Grammy. The Grammy, of course, is our awards we give out for excellence in music. And the voting sheet, and there's a good amount of people, somebody that votes, these are all the choices to vote for, and by far the largest selection of CDs to vote for was the classical section. It was huge. I was amazed. So there's literally, upon the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of new releases, classical comprises quite a bit of them. So, but I love classical music.
So you said about classical music, about the legends. What about the newcomers?
In classical music, or the newcomers in music, period?
In music in general.
I think Gary Clark's really good. I like Gary Clark a lot. I think Gary's really doing, plus he's African American too, so that gives him more credence. I think a lot of people see that. But he's one of the next upcoming young lions, and his album's really good. His first album is really good. Of course, love it or hate him, it's John Mayer. He is a good blues guitar player. He is he might write some sort of soft songs, but he's a good guitar player, really good blues player, And so, I can't think of some. There's Backdoor Slam, and I liked Indigenous a lot. I like them. But there's some other people I can't think of right now.
Do you listen to perhaps any other genres, like pop music, like I don't know, maybe jazz? You told us about jazz, but pop stars maybe?
Oh, definitely.
No?
The only thing I really don't listen to a lot is sort of the modern country that's out. I'm not really. It sounds to me like rock and roll. They're hitting real heavy on the 2 and 4. I like old country. Like even country that was coming out in the '70s is fine with me. But go further back, Hank Williams, Hoyt Axton, some of those older guys, I like them a whole lot. But yeah, there's hardly, and even world music, Indian music, I like Indian music, the classical and the pop Indian music. J-pop, I like J-pop, Japanese pop music. It's pretty fun.
Obviously.
Yeah, and metal, I like metal. I can't take the death metal too much.
No, there's not too much metal on the chart. On the radio anymore.
Right. Yeah, the death metal is hard. That vocal thing, it's hard for me to get past that.
What about you, Dustin?
I teach for a living. When I'm not on road, I teach a lot of young kids. We take next week off, and I teach at a band camp in the summertime, so I have to deal with a bunch of kids from 10 to 18. So I'll get kids that want to learn Taylor Swift or Miley Cyrus just as quick as they'll learn Death Clock or Paramore or God, I can't even remember the System of a Down or some of the newer, some of the old ones. And I've grown to appreciate it. I look for the good in any kind of music. So if so it's hard for me to say I don't like something. I always just try to gravitate. And last night when we, after we got done having dinner and listening to, is it Kaminsky?
Yes,
After I got
Kaminsky
done
band.
listening to him, I went upstairs and the first thing I did was find the pop channel. And the music channel, is it
Yeah.
Music, I think is what it's called? And I just let that run the whole night while I sat there and watched, trying to get an idea of the influences that you guys have on us or vice versa, what we have on your music. And the one thing that I did notice was there were a lot of female singers and then a lot of male rappers. And that's very similar to what's going on in America now in the pop music. So it kind of caught me off guard. I was like, hot girl singing and then a male rapper comes in and hot girl sings. So you kind of see sometimes there's a system to it, and it kind of is not too cool. But after a while, you grow a certain appreciation for the people that can do it well.
Right. And for economic reasons, it's good to keep your pulse on what's going on with music, because unless you want to be irrelevant, you really should move with the trends or something to a certain degree, because you'll find yourself quickly marginalized, thrown out in the sides and out of the mainstream if you don't try to keep up with what's going on with the music. You know, because music has to evolve. I've always said that. It has to evolve. You can't play, even though I love Muddy Waters, you can't play that stuff forever, because people's tastes change over the years, you know, to stay, you know, or your audience is just going to die out, you know. Literally.
Okay.
I'm seeing my audience grow older, but I'm also starting to see younger players come in, and that's always good for the longevity of your career. That's what I feel.
Thank you.
One question
Yes.
regarding guitarists. You talked about John Mayer, but except John Mayer, you have some favorite other blues guitarists, because John Mayer is pop and blues is fantastic.
Right. You know, of course, Buddy Guy,
Which of
B.B. King,
For you sometimes.
Robin Ford. Robin Ford's really early stuff really freaked me. His stuff with Yellow Jackets really freaked me out. Of course, Albert Collins, all the Kings, Albert and Freddie. I mean, I can't remember his name. Some Texas guitar player. Well, Guitar Slim.
Calvin Jones, perhaps?
Who?
Calvin Jones? Have you
Calvin
heard
Jones.
of
Oh yeah, yeah.
Have you
I
heard?
read that in the thing, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
You had
we
that.
had him, yes.
Calvin Jones, yes,
He
good
made
player. And but I mean all the older cats I really love. You know, Jimmy Vaughn, you know, Stevie, you know, Jimi Hendrix, yeah.
Yes, this is classic.
Yeah, I mean Jimi Hendrix still.
We had here Buddy Whittington from Texas.
Yeah, oh, I've known Buddy for a while too. When he used to play with whatchamacallit, what's his name? Big guy. Oh well, older guy. He was in that band. Now I know he's in the Point Blank. He was in Point Blank as well.
They were
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
in Warsaw.
Yeah, but I've known Buddy for years and years and stuff. And I mean, there's so many, but I love all the old traditional blues players. I really do. Just something about it, you know. And he said John Lee Hooker, even John Lee, and even though he's not a.
And you are satisfied because you took only guitars, instruments, but all amplifiers belongs to the local staff, I think so. So you are satisfied to all technical equipment here?
Oh yeah, I mean, actually, that's a very good sounding twin. I was like really surprised. Yeah, it's a good sounding twin. And the Marshall sounds great. Yeah, it's all good.
And
Things all right.
soundcheck without any problem.
No problem at all.
Okay. So we hope.
Just my talent. That's what I need. I just need to get better.
Now, it's an excellent crew and an excellent staff.
Yes,
They're
obviously very
quick,
professional.
very efficient.
Yeah, so it's
They
always
made
great.
it Since today, now we have the second edition.
Yeah.
We started with
They had more
2008.
Mm-hmm.
Was the first Suwałki Blues Festival, and we are evolving. And year by year, we try to keep up to the
Right,
standard,
right.
and even to make it more interesting year by year. With making, for example, this year for the first time the blues bands competition.
Oh,
I saw
yeah.
that was earlier this afternoon, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's always a fun thing.
Yes.
Always, yeah. And I've noticed I wish I could see all these Polish bands that are on the bill, because I noticed that in the program, a lot of Polish bands. And it just only shows the universal reach of blues music throughout the world. and the accessible. I think what really makes blues music great is its accessibility to the common man or the common woman. You know, that's, and you know, because everybody can relate to feeling down, and to put it to music in your own sort of way, that's what's so wonderful about the blues. And it's just accessible to everybody. And I mean, we're just really excited to be here, and we couldn't be happier.
Good to hear that.
And one question more. This is crazy idea, but I have to ask you. By this kind of festival, like the Suwałki Blues Festival, this is zderzenie.
A clash.
A clash, okay.
Masters of the blues, musicians, and new generation, which are on the way, long and winding road, and learning to, trying to play. And you think it would be a good idea to make by this festival something like workshop? All these masters come and show the kitchen how to play.
Right.
Advices, something like this.
I
Play
think-
together, jam session, something like this. We had jam session.
I think that's a great idea, because I mean, not only can the masters show them some, you know, some of the older tricks for foundations of blues, but also what they do, what the new generation does, is they take it and put their own spin on it. And just like I was saying earlier, music has to evolve, and it's evolving with the new generation, but it does not hurt to learn some foundation, just sort of the basics of the blues. And I think that's a great idea. And I think it'd be very well attended probably too, if you have some really good. I would love to come back and give a clinic or a little workshop or something like that and jam with people. That sounds like a great
We'll
idea.
keep that in mind.
Okay, I'm totally down with that. I love showing people that. I love doing things like that and showing the new generation, you know, what's going on. Because that, you know, hopefully that'll sort of put a little bit of me in them and they carry on. So my legacy is continued, as they say.
Any other questions?
No question?
I have no questions.
I've got one more. Who's gonna win the match tomorrow? Germany or
Don't even.
I even called this. I called this a week ago. I thought Argentina and Germany would end up because Brazil was looking weak, and Germany is a very strong team. Very strong. They've been in the semifinals and stuff like the last 4 times or something. They've won it actually not too long ago, a couple times ago. And Argentina with Messi, they say Messi needs to win the big one to really solidify his legacy. So, tell you the truth, I want to say Argentina's going to win just because they're in South America, but it's good. They've got their work cut out because Germany's a really, really tough team. So I'm pulling for Argentina. That's what I'm pulling for. But it could be, on paper, Germany should win. If you look at it, just the stats, Germany should win. Yeah, but for spirit, and that happens a lot. For emotional reasons, you know, I'm hoping Argentina can pull it out. There we go.
I don't
That's my sports moment.
I'm still a little upset about the American thing.
Oh, well, we did better. We did way better than we ever done, so it was great.
But your goalkeeper is great.
Yeah, he is. He actually is a really good goalkeeper.
He except for when he needed to be.
Yeah, right. Oh.
We had to play that game. And
Oh, we were
30
playing. Yeah, we were playing. We were
37.
playing in Kansas City while they were playing. Was it Uruguay? Ronaldo. And then when Ronaldo got the ball, it's like, you better do something. It's in Ronaldo, and he kicked it, and boom, 30 seconds. It was like,
Then
what
we
were you
had-
thinking?
We had to go on stage and play.
Exactly. We had to play like right after. The whole club was like watching the game. Yeah. So we had to play right after that, and I was trying to tell jokes about it.
Nobody was.
That was not
Nobody was
good.
digging it.
So we just played, and eventually we won them over, and we were all happy. Yay! Because I kept saying, "Come on, it's the best we've ever done in the World Cup. It's a tie. It's okay in World Cup." You know.
So obviously you are guys football fans.
Well, not really. I mean, we're still Americans. We're more American football.
Yeah.
American football. We're more American football. He's a big Steelers fan from Pittsburgh. The Iron Curtain, Terry Bradshaw, all those guys. I don't even think.
No, I
he-
played soccer for 13
Yeah.
years. I played all through elementary school and high school and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was.
wokalu? Że był
Nie, jest fanem tego zespołu.
Ale że był piłkarzem, nie? Nie?
Did you play American football?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, until the music teacher found out I could play drums. I played in junior high school. I started playing drums when I was 6.
Oh, yeah.
So I played drums all through elementary school and played football and played a little bit of basketball. And I couldn't wait. We played flag football in elementary school. And I couldn't wait to get to junior high school because that's when we got to wear the pads and, you know, suit up with all the gear. And I couldn't wait to do that because I was a big kid. And I didn't even go out for band when I went into junior high school. And I went out for football, and I was playing football with them when school started. The band director was the music teacher, and he said, does anybody in here know how to play drums? And I raised my hand. There was like 5 of us in the class. And he said, go play something on the drum kit. And I went over and sat down and played, and he's like, how comes you're not in band? And I'm like, because I'm playing football. He's like, not anymore, you're not. He sends me up to the guidance counselor, and
The
it
end
was,
of the career.
yeah, so. And I'm kind of glad I did, because, you know, if I would have continued in football, I would have probably been bad knees and beat up. And, you know, this is something I can do for the rest of my life. And I'm very happy about it. So it was more of a blessing than a curse.
I actually played football in junior high too, but I wasn't very good. I was very small. And then I stopped playing ball sports because it's bad. I always mess up a finger, so I stopped. But I like baseball. That's the sport I like, baseball.
We would go to the batting cages one time.
Oh, went to a batting cage where a machine throws the balls. And first one or second one, it comes in close, and I backed out, and it hit me around the hand. That's it, done. And then, of course, my wife at the time, she was a great softball player, you know, when she was young. And she goes, oh, you're supposed to turn your back to it and let it hit your back. You don't go like that. So there we go. I think that's the last time I really played sports.
Stick with music.
That's right. I'm staying with music.
One question I have regarding records. After the gig, you have some new records?
Oh yeah, I have. I bought 1 box of the Fan Club record CD.
So
No problem. I've only got 30 of them, so buy them up, and they're actually a cheap price, 25 salties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we expect you to come to one of the clubs in Suwałki, or you just going back to the hotel room?
Well, we do have to leave early, but I shall definitely appear here because my room is right upstairs.
Okay.
And is there another jam somewhere else?
Actually, after the concert, we have club concerts in 6 concerts around the city center. And after that, jam session. So we are looking to finish the last day. Today is the last day of the festival.
Well,
at around 6 a.m.
Gee, and that's an hour after we leave.
We're leaving at 5.
We leave at 5.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, I shall make an appearance. Yes, I will be out there.
You are
And I'll
most
play with
welcome to any club. I'm sure everyone will be happy.
Right. To show my gratitude for y'all having me here, I shall be happy to get out and play with other musicians. Be honored. Because I can always sleep on the van and sleep in the planes.
Yeah, it is 5 hours.
We will provide a good sleeping pillows.
Okay.
Hey, now you're talking.
Feel free to come to the club.
Okay. It's a date, people.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you very much for coming to Suwałki. And we are so looking forward to see you live on stage, and I'm sure our fans will be so appreciated. And
Wow.
thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to
Thank
have you
you.
here. And I'm sure that you will see each other next time.
I hope so. I really do. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Dziękuję.
I gotta practice now.
Yeah?
It's easier to sign.
Very good.
Yeah?
Is there anything?
Now,